Hi there, this is Ronnie coming at you with a video. Yeah. The other day I mentioned something in one of my Christmas game reviews, and I'm gonna do a little, I suppose you could call it a bugbear, but it certainly annoys me. When I was mentioning this, and this is the last time this box will appear prior to me having to bin it, the reason I had to bin it was this box is beautiful. And the cards fill right to the top, but the cards are kind of low quality, in so much as they don't shuffle very well, and they don't deal out very well. And because of that, and also because I wanted to protect them, I sleeved them. I put them in protective sleeves, which of course meant they couldn't go back in a bloody box. So I've had to buy a deck box, and I had to get a big box actually to put them all in, and the rules stuffed in. So this box has now become surplus to requirements, which I'm really annoyed at because it's a beautiful box and the artwork on the front and back is really nice. But it's surplus to requirements, and it's going to go that way. I also have Braggot. Now the reason Braggot is sitting in a bag, I know people when they have boxes that are really tight, where cards are right to the top of the brim, that they use like an elastic band. And I understand that principle, but I'm always worried about the box being sort of creased in the middle ever so slightly and bowing a bit. So I've got it in a bag, in a baggie. But Braggot is another example of a box that is absolutely filled to bursting with cards. Another example is this game, The King Commands, by Z-Man Games. And yes, I know I'm British, but they are an American company, I believe. So I'm going to call them Z-Man, even though being British, I should call them Z-Man. And again, the cards are right to the top. No space in here at all. Another example of that was Game of Blaine, where it came in a pretty standard sort of deck, playing card sort of box. And I sleeved them, and of course, they just wouldn't go back in. So I had to get a deck box for that. My annoyance. I understand that profits need for these games can be very small, that margins have to be, you have to get as much of a margin in profit as possible. I understand all that from a business point of view. But I just wish that when companies brought out games, they either bring them out with really good quality cards that aren't going to get bent and bored to hell, which is basically impossible, and at least are sort of glossed and have a good feel, so when you're shuffling them out there's a good feel to them. Oh, another example of that was Skull King, where the cards very quickly became quite sticky, and I had to sleeve them, otherwise they're just, you're like throwing 3 at a time out, just awful. And again, I had to buy a deck box. I just wish they would make boxes big enough so when you do sleeve them, when you do sleeve the cards, they'll go back in the flipping box. You know, people complain about boxes with too much air. I don't mind big boxes if there's a practical use for them, like when you sleeve all the cards, all of a sudden the box fits. Star Realms, wonderful wee game. I'm having to get the long box for that, because I know the minute I start sleeving those cards, they're not going back in that box. I mean, I've already got 160 sort of double deck box for that at the moment, just holding the cards. And if I end up getting Colony Wars one way or the other, I say one way or the other because I did have it on my Amazon wish list, and it's not on my Amazon wish list now, so I'm thinking maybe somebody's got me for Christmas. But if you know, but even if you haven't, I'll be picking that up. You know, that'll be a post-Christmas. That'll be a post-Christmas splurge myself. I'll buy that one. But once I start sleeving them, they're never going to fit in that bloody the boxes that they came in. And again, you know, I'm kind of looking. I've already ordered the long box, because at least then, when they're all sleeved, they're all designed to be sleeved and in this box, and the box has got proper artwork on it, so it will look like a Star Realms box. Similarly, there's one for Hero Realms as well, which I'll get round to. I'm at the moment I'm just trying to sort out Star Realms. But yeah, it's gonna be. I just wish companies, when they're looking at their packaging, sort of think a couple of moves ahead. I mean, they create these games where you're meant to think a couple of moves ahead, and then they don't think a couple of moves ahead when they do the packaging. Give us room to sleeve. You know, give us a bit. Give us some room, man. So when we sleeve these cards, they can go back in the box. AEG, when they released Lovecraft Letter, it came with the sleeves, and you could sleeve the cards and they go back in the box. It's great. You know, why don't other people do this? Annoys me. Well, annoys not the right word. Frustrates is the more accurate word. Because really, there's no need for it. In this day and age, there's no need for it. Give us a slightly bigger box. Give us enough space to sleeve. And keep our stuff in the box. You know, I'm sure there are people who go, you know, there might be people who make the deck boxes going, no, 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 you'll cut into our business. Well, you know, quite frankly, your business is there because the companies aren't doing theirs properly, in my opinion. And I think it's about time they did. So yeah, that's my little bugbear. It's not the end of the world. It really isn't. You know, they don't sleeve them. You know, I end up losing boxes. Such is life. It's going to happen. I mean, I will get round to sleeving King Commands at some point, in which case that box is going to go. To be honest, that box is pretty bare bones in terms of artwork. So it's not going to be the biggest loss, but still, you know, it's the box it came in, and there should be enough space. But I just wish they'd do it. So anyway, I just wanted to get it on my chest. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video.